Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving straight into Microsoft Fabric. It's creating a real buzz as a unified platform for data analytics and AI. We got some great information to unpack, drawing from the recent FabCon 2025 event and, well, discussions around the latest AI and security upgrades in Fabric.
Exactly. Our goal today is to really get a clear understanding of what Microsoft Fabric offers, focusing on those exciting new capabilities that were just unveiled. We want to explore how organizations, maybe like yours listening, can really start to take advantage of these advancements.
Right, how they can revolutionize their data work.
Yeah.
And as employees of Kanerika, a company that specializes in helping organizations implement Fabric and was actually featured at the recent FabCon, we'll be sharing our direct experience with all of this.
That's right.
Okay, so at its core, what exactly is Microsoft Fabric? It sounds like a big concept.
Think of Microsoft Fabric as a comprehensive and integrated set of tools for basically all your data needs, instead of having separate systems for, moving data, prepping it, storing it, doing real-time analysis, building reports.
All those different pieces.
Exactly. Fabric brings all of these capabilities together in one place. It really cuts down on the complexity of working with data across different environments.
So it's all about making things simpler and more connected. How does it actually achieve this integration? I keep hearing about OneLake.
OneLake is absolutely fundamental. Yeah, it's key to Fabric's unified approach. Picture a single organization-wide data repository where all your data can live, doesn't matter where it come from or what format it's in.
Okay.
That's essentially what OneLake provides. It breaks down those traditional silos, gives you that single source of truth for all your analytics projects. What's really interesting is that it's built on the open standard Delta Lake format, and it has this factor called shortcuts. Yeah, shortcuts. This lets you connect to data in other locations, could be across different clouds or even in your own data centers without actually having to move or copy it.
Wow, that sounds incredibly efficient. So no more time-consuming and, frankly, expensive data migrations just to analyze different sets of information together.
Precisely. No more ETL hell, hopefully. And when it comes to analyzing that data, Fabric is also very powerful, especially in real-time scenarios.
Okay.
It includes robust real-time analytics capabilities that use KQL. That's the Kusto query language.
KQL.
Think of KQL as like a super fast search engine, but specifically designed for massive streams of data. It allows you to quickly pinpoint important events much faster than, say, standard SQL sometimes. And Fabric also has an event stream feature that makes it much easier to bring in that continuous flow of information from all sorts of sources.
So if you're dealing with things like, I don't know, data from sensors or website clicks, that kind of thing, Fabric can handle that and give you insights almost immediately.
Exactly. It's really designed for those situations where you need very fast, up-to-the-minute analysis. Now, another really key part of Fabric, and you can't really talk about Fabric without this, is its deep integration with AI.
Ah, yes. AI.
And this isn't just an add-on. It's really baked into the platform.
Tell me more about the AI aspect then. Everyone's talking about AI, obviously, but what makes Fabric's approach, stand out?
Well, what's significant here is the native connection to Azure OpenAI service. This gives you direct access to those cutting-edge large language models right within your data environment.
Okay, direct access.
Then there's Copilot, Microsoft's AI assistant, which is also deeply integrated. It helps you with all sorts of tasks, from writing KQL queries or Python code to creating visualizations in Power BI. Beyond that, Fabric includes built-in AI tools for common tasks like understanding text, finding unusual patterns, anomaly detection, and making predictions, forecasting. And for those who want to build their own AI models, it really simplifies the whole MLOps process. That's, managing the full life cycle of your machine learning models.
So it's not just about using the AI that's already built in, but it also gives you the tools to build and manage your own AI within the same environment.
Yeah.
That sounds like a huge advantage.
It really is. Keeps everything together.
And I also heard about Power BI Direct Lake Mode. How does that fit into this whole picture?
Power BI Direct Lake Mode. Yeah, that's a real game changer for how quickly you can analyze data and, importantly, how well it's governed.
Okay.
Traditionally, when Power BI works with really large data sets, it often involves importing that data into Power BI's own memory, right? Which can take time and has size limitations.
Yeah, the import mode.
Exactly. Direct Lake Mode takes a totally different approach. It allows Power BI to directly query the data that's already sitting there in OneLake.
So no import step.
Right. And because OneLake often stores data in these optimized formats like Delta Parquet, and Direct Lake is specifically designed to work with this, the query performance becomes dramatically faster. Imagine just going straight to the source instead of making a copy first.
Makes sense. Much faster.
And what's also crucial is that it improves data governance. Because Power BI is working directly with the data in OneLake, it automatically respects any security and management rules you've already put in place right there.
So the security follows the data.
Exactly. It simplifies governance significantly.
Okay, that gives us a really good overview of the core capabilities. Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears and focus on what's new from FabCon 2025. What were some of the key announcements there that really caught your attention?
FabCon was definitely packed, yeah. Lots of exciting announcements, but a couple of areas really stood out to me. Big advancements in security and the broader availability of AI across the board.
Okay.
Let's start with OneLake Security. This is being highlighted as, well, a major leap forward in how we protect data within Fabric.
Okay, OneLake Security. Tell me more. What makes it such a significant development? Sounds important.
The core idea behind OneLake Security is really about making managing data access much, much simpler. If you've ever worked in complex data environments with lots of different analytics tools,
Oh, yeah.
you know what a headache it can be to set up and maintain consistent security rules across everything.
Absolutely. Nightmare sometimes.
It often leads to either locking things down too much, which limits what people can do, or worse, accidental data leaks because the rules aren't consistent.
Right.
OneLake Security tackles this head-on by allowing you to define access permissions just once, centrally, and then Fabric automatically applies those permissions consistently across all of its different components, the SQL endpoints, the KQL databases, Power BI, everything.
So you set it up once at the OneLake level, and it just works everywhere else.
Essentially, yes. That's the goal. Data owners can create security roles, they can fine-tune permissions, and even control access down to specific rows and columns within a lakehouse.
Row level, column level.
Okay. Yeah. So, for example, you could restrict access to sensitive PII, personal information, while still allowing broader access to other anonymized data in the same table.
Uh-huh.
The really powerful part is that this security automatically extends everywhere. So whether someone is using standard SQL to query the data, or maybe running a Spark job, or visualizing it in a Power BI report, they will only see the data they are authorized to see based on those central rules.
Wow.
It's important to note, though, this is currently rolling out in preview. But think about the complexity it removes, right? Managing permissions across separate data warehouses, data lakes, BI tools.
Yeah, that's usually separate teams, separate processes.
Exactly. OneLake Security kind of flips that on its head. By defining access once at the OneLake level, you're not just saving time, you're fundamentally reducing the risk of inconsistent policies that could lead to costly security breaches or compliance violations. That single point of control becomes incredibly powerful for secure data sharing and collaboration.
That sounds like a huge step forward, especially for data governance and meeting all those compliance requirements like GDPR or CCPA.
Absolutely. It's a big one.
Okay, what else from FabCon really stood out to you? You mentioned AI availability.
Yes, the expansion of Copilot and AI capabilities to all paid SKUs was another really significant announcement. This is big for democratization.
All paid SKUs. What does that mean practically?
Well, previously, some of these more powerful AI-driven features, like the integrated Copilot experiences, were only available in the higher-priced tiers of Fabric, the PCs mainly. Now, Microsoft is making them accessible to a much wider range of users, starting from the F2 capacity level and going up.
So even smaller organizations or departments using the lower-tier Fabric capacities can now access these AI features?
Exactly. Features like Fabric data agents, these are essentially AI-powered assistants that can help you understand and interact with your data in a more natural, conversational way. They'll now be available to many more teams.
Interesting. So you can sort of talk to your data more easily?
That's the idea, yeah. This broader access has the potential to really streamline how people work with data day-to-day and help more individuals across an organization uncover valuable insights, even if they aren't, data scientists.
That's great for empowering more users within an organization, moving towards that data culture everyone talks about.
Definitely.
Were there any improvements announced for organizations looking to move their existing data systems to Fabric? Migrations can be tough.
Yes, good point. They specifically address that. Microsoft announced a new migration experience that's built right into the Fabric user interface. This is initially focused on customers who are currently using Azure Synapse Analytics Data Warehouse.
Okay, Synapse Warehouse users specifically.
For now, yes. Moving data warehouses, as you said, can often be a complex, risky, and time-consuming project. This new experience aims to simplify that. It includes intelligent tools that can assess your current Synapse setup, provide guided support through the migration process step by step, and even use AI to help with things like translating SQL code or planning the data movement.
AI-powered migration assistance. That sounds helpful.
Yeah, the goal is clearly to make it easier and less daunting for these existing Azure customers to make the jump and start taking advantage of Fabric's unified platform and all the AI-powered analytics we've been talking about.
Making it easier to get started is always crucial for wider adoption. Okay, so those are some major highlights. FabCon also mentioned a bunch of other platform enhancements, right? Maybe we can briefly touch on a few.
Sure, yeah, there was a flurry of other updates too. They announced the preview of a command line interface, CLI, which is great for folks who prefer a code-first approach or want to automate tasks.
CLI, nice. Developers will like that.
Definitely. Also, new CI/CD enhancements in preview, like variable libraries and service principal support for GitHub Actions, making deployment pipelines smoother.
Better DevOps integration. Good.
And things like user data functions for custom business logic, the general availability of the Terraform provider for infrastructure as code, and support for tags for better resource organization. Lots of foundational improvements.
Okay, lots happening under the hood. What about getting data into Fabric? Any data integration updates?
Yes, quite a few there too. Incremental refresh in Dataflow Gen 2 is now generally available, which is important for efficient data loading. Database mirroring got enhancements. Apache Airflow job support and the copy job activity are now generally available for orchestration, and there are previews for more advanced orchestration features.
Sounds like they're making ingestion and transformation more robust and flexible.
Definitely. And on the real-time front, Azure Events and Fabric Events integration is generally available, plus new event stream connectors in preview for bringing in more types of streaming data easily.
Okay. And for the data engineers and data scientists using Spark and notebooks.
Some nice updates there. Autoscale billing for Spark is in preview, helping manage costs better. There's a new Copilot experience directly within Fabric notebooks to assist with coding and analysis.
Copilot everywhere.
Pretty much. And AI functions for using large language models directly within Spark transformations are also in preview. So transforming data using AI is becoming easier.
Very cool. Yeah, and I know partnerships are always important. Any news there?
Yeah, they highlighted new integrations with ISV partners and mentioned that Fabric workloads from specific partners are now generally available, expanding the ecosystem.
Good to see the ecosystem growing. Any other updates around OneLake itself besides the security?
Yes, a few more OneLake enhancements. Excel integration is coming soon for Office Insider's fast users. That's always a big one.
Oh yeah, connecting Excel directly.
General availability for on-premises data gateway support for more sources is coming. Enhancements for cross-tenant sharing, updates to Fabric Link to Dataverse, and a new mirrored Dataverse option. Multi-tenant organization support is generally available, and CI/CD support for OneLake Shortcuts is in preview. So lots of refinement there.
Okay, sounds like they're really fleshing out OneLake's capabilities.
Yeah.
And what about empowering the business users? Maybe Empower BI?
Yes, a couple of things there. Direct Lake semantic models can now be created and edited in Power BI Desktop in preview, which is huge for developers. And there's a preview of data point annotations in the Power BI add-in for PowerPoint, making it easier to collaborate on insights within presentations.
Bridging that gap between analysis and presentation. Nice. And finally, any integration with Microsoft Purview for governance.
Absolutely. They mentioned upcoming previews for Copilot and Power BI, helping with Purview integration, expanded Purview data loss prevention, DLP policies coverage within Fabric, and a preview of data observability features integrated with Purview. So governance and compliance are definitely getting stronger too.
Wow, okay. That's a lot of updates from FabCon. Really shows the pace of development.
It really does. Fabric is evolving fast.
Now, Kanerika, where we work, is a Fabric implementation partner.
Right.
From our perspective, seeing all this, what do we see as the biggest advantages of these new capabilities, particularly for the clients we work with?
Well, we at Kanerika definitely see these new features as incredibly valuable for our clients. That OneLake Security piece, for instance, it directly addresses a major pain point we often encounter. The sheer complexity of managing data access in fragmented data estates.
Yeah, we see that all the time.
Right. Being able to define and enforce security policies centrally within OneLake will not only save our clients significant time and resources, but also drastically reduce their risk of security breaches and compliance issues down the line. This simplified security model lets them focus more on actually using their data to get value and less on the tangled web of access management.
That makes perfect sense. Less friction, more insight. And the broader availability of Copilot and other AI features, how do we see that impacting our clients?
Oh, the wider accessibility of AI within Fabric is a total game changer for empowering more users within our clients' organizations. Features like those Fabric data agents we mentioned, they can really democratize data exploration and analysis.
How so?
By allowing individuals with perhaps less technical expertise to ask questions of their data using natural language and generate insights more easily, it lowers the barrier to entry. This means that more people, not just the analysts or data scientists, can contribute to data-driven decision-making. And that ultimately leads to faster innovation and better business outcomes. We really see this as a key enabler for building a truly data-literate organization.
Yeah, getting insights into the hands of more people. And Kanerika was featured at the recent FabCon you mentioned. What was the focus of our involvement there? What did we showcase?
Yes, we were thrilled to be featured at FabCon. It was a great platform to highlight Kanerika's expertise and success in implementing Microsoft Fabric solutions. We showcased our work with clients who have successfully leveraged Fabric to modernize their data platforms, significantly improve data processing speeds, and unlock new business insights through AI-powered analytics.
So real-world results.
Exactly. Our features specifically focused on demonstrating how organizations can effectively adopt and leverage these new capabilities of Fabric, including things like OneLake Security and the expanded AI features to achieve tangible business value. It was a fantastic opportunity for us to share our real-world experience and connect with other leaders in the data and analytics space.
It sounds like it reinforces our position as experts in this area.
Absolutely. And our chief analytics officer has been really vocal about this, emphasizing how Fabric is truly setting a new benchmark in analytics by bringing together that whole stack data integration, governance, AI-driven insights. As one of the early implementers, we've genuinely seen firsthand the exceptional ROI Fabric can deliver for our clients.
Right.
And with these new upgrades, particularly around security and AI accessibility, it's not just improving, it's kind of redefining what's possible in modern data analytics.
So for organizations listening who are thinking, okay, this sounds powerful, maybe we should look into Fabric, what does Kanerika offer in terms of actually helping them through that process? It can seem daunting.
That's a great question. We at Kanerika offer a really comprehensive approach to Fabric implementation, designed to guide clients every step of the way. We always start with a thorough assessment and strategy development phase.
Understanding their needs first.
Exactly. We work really closely with the client to understand their specific business goals, their current data landscape, their challenges. Based on that, we craft a tailored strategy that aligns Fabric's capabilities specifically with their unique needs.
Okay, strategy first. Then what?
Next, we move into architecture design. We create a robust and scalable data architecture within Fabric that optimizes how data flows, how it's stored, how it's processed. And crucially, we make sure it integrates seamlessly with any existing systems they might still need.
Right, it rarely exists in a vacuum.
Precisely. Then comes the actual implementation and configuration. This covers the complete setup and deployment of their Fabric environment. And a big part of this is often secure and efficient data migration, getting their existing data into Fabric reliably.
Migration is key.
Absolutely. After setup, we provide customization and optimization services. This could mean developing tailored solutions like interactive dashboards in Power BI or specific analytical reports, and we continuously work to fine-tune the performance of their Fabric environment as usage grows.
So it's not just set it and forget it.
Definitely not. And finally, training and ongoing support are critical parts of our offering. We make sure the client's team is fully equipped and comfortable using the power of Fabric, and we provide continuous assistance and guidance as their data needs inevitably evolve over time.
That sounds very end-to-end.
Right.
And we've also developed some specific tools to help speed up that migration process, especially from older Microsoft systems, haven't we?
Yes, absolutely. We recognize early on that migrating from legacy data platforms can often be a significant hurdle. It's complex, it takes time, it carries risk. That's why we've invested heavily in developing automation tools and proven frameworks to simplify migrations from various common source systems. For example, we have solutions specifically designed to help ensure smooth and efficient transitions from platforms like SQL Server Reporting Services, SSRS, migrating over to Power BI,
SSRS to Power BI.
or moving data integration pipelines from SQL Server Integration Services, SSIS, and analytical models from SQL Server Analysis Services, SSS, directly into Fabric components.
Assist to Fabric. Got it.
And we even have accelerators for migrating from visualization tools like Tableau to Power BI, if that's part of the scope. These tools help reduce the manual effort involved, which cuts down costs, they minimize downtime during the switchover, and critically, they help maintain the integrity and consistency of the data throughout the migration process.
That kind of automation must really save organizations a lot of time, headache, and resources.
It absolutely does. It de-risks the project significantly.
Do we have any recent examples, maybe anonymized, of how we've helped clients successfully implement Fabric and maybe leverage some of these new capabilities?
We certainly do. For one large enterprise client, they were really grappling with complex data management across multiple disparate systems. We recently migrated their extensive data pipelines from legacy SSIS into Microsoft Fabric, and we used our automated framework to do it.
Okay, and the results?
The results were pretty striking. They saw roughly a 30% improvement in their overall data processing speed. They achieved about a 40% reduction in their operational costs associated with just managing that data infrastructure. And maybe just as importantly, there was a 25% decrease in the manual effort required for ongoing maintenance of those pipelines.
Wow, 30% faster, 40% cheaper ops, 25% less manual work. That's significant.
It really adds up. Another recent success story involves a major logistics company, a 3PL provider. We leveraged Fabric and Power BI to completely revamp their logistics reporting and analytics capabilities. They were struggling with slow reporting and getting timely insights.
Common problem in logistics.
Very common. After implementing Fabric, they saw a 75% increase in the speed at which they could process their core logistics data. The time it took them to generate critical operational reports was reduced by 80%, think hours, down to minutes in some cases. And crucially, they reported a 62% increase in effective decisions being made based on having those faster, more reliable insights readily available.
75% faster processing, 80% faster reporting, 62% more effective decisions. Those are really impressive, tangible benefits.
Absolutely. These examples really highlight the kind of impact that Fabric, when implemented correctly with the right expertise, can deliver for businesses.
Okay, those are compelling results. So if an organization is listening right now and thinking, all right, Fabric sounds powerful, the new features address our concerns, maybe it's time, why should they specifically choose Kanerika as their implementation partner? What makes us stand out?
That's fair. I think there are several key reasons why Kanerika is really the ideal partner for their Fabric journey. Firstly, we have a highly certified Microsoft Fabric implementation team. These aren't people just learning Fabric. They have deep, practical, hands-on knowledge of the platform.
Certified and experienced.
Exactly. Our team also includes recognized experts like Microsoft MVPs and Power Platform super users, folks acknowledged by Microsoft for their deep expertise and community contributions in the Microsoft data and AI ecosystem.
Okay, industry recognition.
And crucially, we're proud to have been one of the very first companies to actually implement Fabric for clients. This gives us a wealth of early adopter experience that's hard to replicate. We've seen the platform evolve from the beginning.
Early adopters, right.
We're also officially recognized by Microsoft as a Microsoft Data and AI Solutions partner, and importantly, a certified FAIA delivery partner that's fast-track for Azure and data. This means Microsoft trusts us to successfully deliver complex data and AI projects on their cloud platform, meeting their high standards.
Microsoft Certified Partner stat.
Yes. And as those success stories we just discussed demonstrate, we have proven expertise in helping organizations achieve significant, measurable results with Microsoft Fabric. We don't just implement the tech, we focus on delivering business value.
Proven results.
And finally, our feature at the recent FabCon, showcasing our work with the latest capabilities like OneLake Security and AI, further underscores our deep involvement and cutting-edge expertise with the very latest Fabric has to offer. We're not just keeping up, we're helping lead the way.
Okay, that's a strong case. Deep expertise, early experience, proven results, and Microsoft recognition.
We believe so, yes.
So to kind of bring it all together now as we wrap up, what are the most important things for our listeners to remember about Microsoft Fabric and all these recent advancements we've discussed today? What's the key takeaway?
I think the key takeaway is that Microsoft Fabric really represents a significant evolution, maybe even a revolution, in data analytics. It offers a truly unified platform that integrates everything you need from data integration and warehousing to real-time analytics, business intelligence, and AI all in one place.
The unified aspect.
Yes. And the new features unveiled at FabCon 2025, particularly those major advancements in OneLake Security and the much broader accessibility of Copilot and other AI-powered features across all paid tiers, make Fabric an even more compelling solution. It's becoming more secure, more intelligent, and more accessible for organizations looking to streamline their data workflows, seriously enhance data security and governance, and ultimately gain faster, more impactful insights from their data.
Makes sense. Unified, secure, intelligent, and increasingly accessible. And as a final thought for our listeners to maybe ponder after this deep dive,
Yeah, maybe consider this. How could a truly unified AI-powered data platform like Microsoft Fabric, when implemented with the right strategic approach and expertise, like frankly what we offer here at Kanerika, how could that fundamentally transform how your organization works with data?
mm,
Think beyond just incremental improvements. Think about the potential to genuinely accelerate innovation, to improve decision-making not just at the top, but across all levels, and ultimately drive significant progress towards your core business objectives, all by more effectively harnessing the power that's already sitting in your data.
so moving from data as a cost center to data as a strategic asset.
Exactly. We really encourage listeners to explore how these new Fabric capabilities could directly address their specific data challenges and, maybe more excitingly, unlock entirely new possibilities and opportunities for their organization. It's worth investigating.